the NXT Championship. McDonough has described in very gruesome details how he will permanently injure Bron Breakker tonight. A little uneasy when I see McDonough.
Yeah, McDonough has a precise surgical breakdown of human anatomy, and I'll tell you this, with the knowledge he has, JD McDonough could do great things in a health field if he wanted to, but he's chosen to use that knowledge of his for human mutilation. The question is he going to succeed in his pursuit of human mutilation tonight and succeed in his pursuit of gold here in NXT?
Breakker has shown no fear in the face of the Irish Ace. And sending a direct message to the challenger. The champion promised to be more animalistic here tonight.
I don't know if I agree with you when you say he hasn't shown any fear. I stood between these two and JD McDonough signed the contract for this matchup with his own blood. I saw the look in Bron Breakker's eyes. If that wasn't fear, I don't know what it was. But Bron, he's got his game face on now. He knows he's going to be up against it tonight. Most fear Bron's wrath, but JD McDonough seems to embrace that pain.
You gotta wonder the strength in the right shoulder.
The following contest scheduled for one fall is for the NXT Championship. Introducing first the challenger, JD McDonough. And his opponent, he is the NXT Champion, Bron Breakker.
And we bring up that shoulder because for the first time in a long time, there's no tape. There's no bullseye on Breakker, but is he coming into this matchup at 100%?
I'll tell you this. I've injured shoulders in the past. They take a longer time to heal than anything on the body, in my estimation. I had an injury back in 2014, and to this day, it still gives me grief. You can ignore Bron's posturing. There is zero chance, strapping or not, that that shoulder is 100%.
And look at McDonough quickly right to that aforementioned shoulder, and look at Breakker swatting away McDonough like a fly.
If I know that shoulder is hurt, a surgical approach from someone like McDonough has that well scouted.
On Breakker, obviously be wise to understand that that would be the offensive strategy for someone like McDonough. Goes right back to work on that right shoulder, and look at Breakker trying to stand tall, and Breakker now. Oh!
Enjoyed that slap.
I was going to say Breakker a little bit taken back by McDonough. And look, we've talked about Bron Breakker in the past. He's had a lot of tough opponents, but he's never ran up against a surgeon like JD McDonough.
Bron has fought them all, high flyers.
Whoa, hung on.
Brawlers, technicians, even former world champions. No one with the kind of approach that a McDonough has, though. Bron is completely unnerved, in my estimation, by McDonough. Might be hiding it now, but how badly he's unnerved is yet to be seen in this matchup.
I want to talk about Bron Breakker for a moment. We usually talk about Breakker's strength and his speed. How about the grappling ability right now, going toe-to-toe for a moment with McDonough?
Well, that tells its own story for me. Like, he has a good amateur background, does Bron, but the fact that he's not exploding with rage like he usually does shows me he's pressing the brakes a little around McDonough. He doesn't want to make a mistake because he knows there are severe physical consequences if he does so.
Another nice roll through by Breakker, and now that strength coming into display. Hoisting up McDonough, letting the Irish Ace think about what else is to come in this championship main event.
The other issue, of course, is that Braun knew that McDonough was expecting a certain strategy out of Braun, and when he doesn't get it, maybe he's got to change his own game plan.
Well, Breakker also said he knows that the championship attracts all types of superstars, all types of challengers, and he knows JD is driven by inflicting pain. Breakker now almost methodical in his own right, giving a little bit of chase because he knows he's in store to deliver a lot of punishment as he promised to the challenger tonight. And how about turnabout fair play? It's now Breakker going to work on the shoulder of JD McDonough.
Turning the tables, perhaps. Braun, to his credit, has always been ready for whatever comes his way. It's kind of how it has to be if you're going to have a long reign as a champion. Eventually, every type of competitor wants to take their shot. Flying for the big man.
Covered by the champion, and the challenger just kicking out at 2. I want to go back to the overhead belly-to-belly toss. Did you notice that Breakker put McDonough's arm behind him almost in a hammerlock for extra punishment, as you see a little extra height by the champion on that standing moonsault?
The more and more we see of Braun Breakker, we've talked about his lack of experience in the past, the more well-rounded he's getting. That's what happens if you go to war with a guy like Dolph Ziggler, amongst others. You start to learn little tricks of the trade, start to cool down a little in-ring, start to formulate extra game plans when they're needed, and Braun really is growing as a superstar before our eyes.
NXT Universe has been fired up all night long, and right now it's Braun Breakker who is taken apart JD McDonough, and even a little bit of a back and forth, but still Breakker on top of his game here tonight. It's been all Breakker here in this NXT title main event. Back live on NXT, it is Heatwave. This our main event, NXT Championship on the line. Champion Braun Breakker right now up top. Ooh! And a nasty landing as the challenger now take it into effect. What we saw during the commercial break almost looked like JD McDonough was enjoying popping his shoulder back into place.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, I'm not surprised by that. Got headbutted by Braun a few weeks ago and laughed at the sight of his own blood coming from his mouth. The guy...
What the hell? Oh, that was nasty.
Ooh.
Neck breaker over that steel.
Steel truss holding the turnbuckle in place. Well, Braun's neck came crashing down right on the top of it. And I'll tell you this, looking at the state of Braun Breakker on the floor, that is at best a stinger and at worst a broken neck.
I was looking over at McDonough, who almost had a Hannibal Lecter type smile on his face, and McDonough knows Breakker's got to get back in the ring. The only place McDonough can win the NXT title, as he predicted a few weeks ago, the winds of change were blowing into NXT, as now McDonough relentless, raining down on the neck of Braun Breakker, and it seems McDonough has switched body parts on the champion.
Yeah, I'm not sure Braun Breakker can even feel his hands right now. This referee taking a very close look. Might have to call it if this has been a severe mischief to the neck of Braun Breakker. Of course, a ton of nerves involved in that area.
NXT Championship match tonight, but how about next week? It is official. NXT UK Tag Team titles on the line. Briggs and Jensen defending against Gallus, who shocked us all here tonight. But now it is McDonough looking for a submission from Braun Breakker, and again, it's focusing in on the neck, and it was McDonough who said there's only so much pain the body can endure before the brain shuts off.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, Braun Breakker is no quitter, but even he might get this taken out of his own hands the way this is going. I know for a fact that JD McDonough would love nothing more, not just to beat Braun Breakker, but to humiliate him by making him tap out and take the NXT Championship in the process.
McDonough, who's gone from the shoulder now to the neck, and you got to wonder when it comes to the neck of Braun Breakker. You already mentioned his hands. How's he going to be able to lift up JD McDonough? How's he going to be able to use his strength to his advantage as this matchup goes on?
JD McDonough calls himself the necessary evil of NXT. I'm not sure I agree with the necessary part, but the evil part can't be doubted. There is a blue-eyed devil loose in the ring right now, and that should strike fear into all of us.
Well, Breakker able to create a little bit of separation, and Breakker starting to fight back. How to block out whatever pain. Looks like the feeling back in the hands of Breakker. And ooh, Breakker taken to the air, and now we see that 4-3 speed picking up. Breakker said it's speed, it's power, and it's aggression. And Breakker now with the challenger in his sights. Breakker charging in and
Perfectly scouted by the Irish Ace, going in for that spear, failed.
You got to think it went right into the shoulder, right into the neck, and now it's McDonough looking for another submission, and this time there's nowhere for Breakker to go. Look at the torque on the neck, the strain in the shoulder of the champion.
And this is the pain that JD McDonough was talking about earlier tonight, what he was going to exert on our champion, Bron Breakker. Well, it's happening before our eyes.
Breakker looking, and you see the sense in his eyes. Almost a sense of fear if he didn't get to that bottom rope.
Yeah, the damage is done, though. Look at Bron Breakker. Can't even lift his own head up.
We all know McDonough has such an extensive knowledge of the human anatomy, and it's coming into play right now in this main event, systematically dissecting the NXT champion.
JD McDonough is a dangerous and scary individual. Nothing creates fear in the locker room more than knowing there is a man loose in that locker room, intent
And Breakker
committing severe harm to opponents.
running on pure adrenaline. Frankensteiner, is this going to be enough? He just bit the challenger in half into a 2. Well, it was a near 3 count for McDonough.
Just insane regenerative abilities of Bron Breakker once again. Take another look at this. When you think he's down and out, he pulls out something like that. Crazy athleticism for a man the size of Bron Breakker, even more so after the damage he's incurred in this match.
McDonough answering right back. You can hear that kick ringing through the NXT universe, and now it's McDonough who's maybe looking for an exclamation point. What's McDonough thinking? Breakker trying his best to block, trying to sit down. McDonough muscling up Breakker. Spanish fly! You gotta be kidding me! This is gonna be McDonough's moment. Brainbuster! Right into the cover. For the title, Breakker kicks out at 2. Whoa!
Oh my word, the
Damn, that was close.
Damage incurred by the neck of Bron Breakker, one after the other. Spanish fly first of all against Bron of all people. By a brainbuster targeted offense.
So look at the live action. McDonough to the top rope. McDonough looking for the moonsault, able to roll through. Breakker had it scouted, and Breakker spear. But much like we saw earlier, not able to capitalize.
Yeah, the impact of that spear not only reverberating on the ribs of the challenger JD McDonough, but also down the cervical spine of the champ Bron Breakker.
Breakker quick at getting McDonough back into the ring. And now could be setting up.
He's got that look in his eye.
McDonough bought himself some extra time, but for what? As Breakker, boom again! When you talk about winds of change, Breakker's entering into that zone. How the hell is McDonough standing?
How the hell's he laughing?
He said he welcomes pain in a 3rd spear. Breakker said everyone has a plan until they're broken in half. Breakker retains his NXT title.
Here's your winner, and still the NXT champion, Bron Breakker.
What a win.
What a battle.
What a match. What a defense.
What a
retention.
champion.
But I'll tell you this, there is something wrong in the head of JD McDonough.